Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? I have been preparing for this during the day. I have been, double testing everything, checking everything being set up, listening to the levels and setting a whole new I have a special little custom page on my Stream Deck for it. Everything's been great. I've been on my computer literally all day. Thank you for the subscription, NRX, my dear friend NRX. I do appreciate that. But literally 10 minutes before the stream, I started having power issues with the USB port that I'm having, and then the Stream Deck buttons just stopped working, and I was like, "What? Like now?" So I'm just gonna push a few buttons to test things because I was having some issues. So I should be able to toggle myself on and off, so I will become silent and also invisible at the same time. Of course, of course. Activate, activate, activate. Aw, thanks for the cheer, Dana. I'm gonna fix this button real quick though, because I specifically set this up. What? It's not reading my sources anymore. Oh, why does things go awry right before you begin? You know what I mean? That's so weird. Sorry about that. I'm actually going to restart my Stream Deck and see if that helps. How's everyone doing though? Everything seem fine? Honestly, if anything pops up, let me know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, what? Okay, that's good. Oh, you're still surfing your booster. Well, also, this is going to be on YouTube. I think this will be a great way to get people to, get to see some new commercials. I tried not to pick ones that were in a lot of the compilations that we use. Let's see. So we got Logitech and voice mod. Become deactivate. We got voice mod, Logitech. And that becomes active. Okay. So now, and then I should reappear. Wonderful. Okay, so that's working. Hopefully everything else does. And if not, fuck me, I guess, right? So I think the order of operations here is we're just going to kind of randomly play some of these commercials I have set up, and they're not in any particular order. And then after each one, I thought we could discuss it. And if you guys want to comment on things during it and interact, it'll all show up on the stream. It'll show up on the future video. It should be a lot of fun. So let's give this a test run. I'm going to start with the very first one. I think it'll be really funny if any of the commercials I play pop up at the same time as randomly one of their ads that's playing in the background. I think that would be silly. But yeah, let's give this a go.
Thirst for magic, thirst for adventure, thirst for life. Only one drink can shapeshift your thirst into a refreshing explosion of carbonation that's so delicious. Get your paws on a can of Rock Shasta and drink deep the enchanting flavors. Like Black Void, Lemon Demon, Orange Pelt, and Mountain Gush. When you need to get quenched, get your paws, if you can, on the Tiger Striped can. Stay cool, stay fresh, put a flavor to the test. When the soda is inside, you got the magic of the Tiger Rock Shasta is the best. Stay cool, stay fresh, put our flavors to the test. When the soda is inside, you got the magic of the Tiger Rock Shasta is the best. Thumbs down. That means I like it. Rock Shasta! A Rock Shasta!
Hey, Rock Shasta. A Rock Shasta. God, where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, a lot of these are season 2 commercials, Kadaji. And thank you, both Dana and Silver Dragoness, for enjoying the new Spectralizer. I just put it together. I wanted something less visually obtrusive just for this, because we're looking at ads. But kind of fun, you know? It's a fun song. I think some of my favorite commercials are the ones that involve music, because I have to, like, I don't have all of the good equipment that I need to make, like, real songs and good stuff. So anything I can, like, eke out that sounds pretty good, I have a lot of fun with. Yeah. It was a treat for the Rock Shasta fans out there. 2 thumbs down. Oh, good. And I haven't got a single text message all day, and now they just non-stop. Good. You love to see it. I think it might be fun to dive into another one. Let's just go for it. My brother, it is a joy and honor to ride beside you through the fields of Ashenfade, our hair blowing back in the wind, the horizon waiting to embrace us. But I must ask of you a question.
Speak, horse brother.
When we ride, your hair, it does not flow like it used to. Mine grows tangled and matted as the wind whips it to and fro, but yours remains untouched, as though you wear some kind of invisible helmet to shield it. Am I going mad? Have the gods cursed my mind?
Your mind is uncursed, my equestrian-inclined soulmate. While I bear no enchanted armaments, there is a kind of invisible helmet that protects my locks from the ravages of the sun and cold. A new product, just for long, majestic hair, like ours.
But there is no dampness or weight to an unguent or cream to my eyes. Oh, damn my eyes! Perhaps the madness is real!
Be calmed, dear brother, rider of my horse's brother horse. There is no cream or unguent. It is a spray, a fine mist that hardens like iron but shines like the surface of the distant sea.
What is this spray called, Saddlekin? Tell it to me now.
It is called Stronghold.
Stronghold, stronghold. It'll keep your hair from going anywhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, Stronghold. I think that's one of my favorites, like, of all time, if I have to, like, judge my own stuff. I think Stronghold's one of my favorites. I think it's for me, what feels like some of the most successful comedy. I'm not sure if that's a mutual feeling with anyone, but yeah, that was just me. I don't really collaborate on any of my commercials. because that takes so much time, and I always do them at the very last minute. Oh, thanks. The reason I like that one so much is because on the surface, it's really just like a commercial for hairspray with like some dudes talking to each other, but like the only real humor in it is derived from the character concepts and how they're delivered. I don't know. It was just like, what if I create this like commercial lore about this world with these two guys who are some kind of bonded horse pair? Like, it's unclear whether they're like, you know, soldiers in arms or lovers or literally brothers. Maybe everyone in this family gets their. I just like that kind of you know. There's more to this story than this stupid hairspray commercial. And then the characters I thought were funny, just their interactions, really over the top. It's kind of stuff like I like to go for. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it's not. But let us proceed.
Hi, Willie Mage here for Fayaway, the unseelie sealant, powered by the iron we use every day and suffused with the extraplanar energies that surround and bind us. It's Pantheon approved and safe for your mortal essence. Use it on your windowsills, your doorways. Fayaway wards off fairies of all courts, pesky pixies, spiteful sprites. It gets down into their bodies. It gets down into their souls. It even wards red caps and green hags away from your cabins and cottages. It agitates, it irritates, and it even destroys diminutive dryads. Don't just keep the Fey at bay, use Fayaway.
Yeah, Fayaway. I think that was Zach's first commercial for the show. And that one always stuck with me. I just really like the pacing and energy of it. You know, nothing like a good music choice and a classic recognizable parody. It's all very good things. Funny line delivery. Short and to the point. All the trademarks of what I consider a very good commercial. Yeah, I always wondered if Fayaway fucks up just like, you know. Well, thank you, Mac Daddy. We appreciate that. We both care very much about trying to make good vocal performances. And like, you know, sometimes you'll hear a character from season 1 that sounds like something that happens in season 2, probably, but it's just like there's only so many voices we can come up with, you know, on the spot. I try to make all the announcers in my commercials have at least some kind of recognizable difference in them. So if they were like an animated character, you could differentiate them. That's definitely something I go for. I want them to be able to like have a conversation with each other and you wouldn't get confused as to who's talking. I feel like that's a good thing to try to listen for. In my opinion. What do you think Penny would dress up as on Halloween? Because I'm sure that's a holiday that Penny would get way into, literally going door to door and getting treats and dressing up. Seemed like a Penny thing to me. Try to dress up like a singular. Just like really over the top it. Like, wow, I'm going to enjoy this candy so much because my life is so short and finite. What do you say we hop into another commercial?
Who's the gal who knows what's cool? Who's the fashion icon you can take home and dress up however you want? Who's the ruthless warlord who sees all foes brought to their knees before her? It's Barbie! New Bloodlust Barbie comes with 5 different weapon accessories, 3 types of armor, and loads of jewelry made from the bones and treasures of her victims. New Bloodlust Barbsy has real blood splatter you can add and remove with hot and cold water. Get Bloodlust Barbsy's new Dream War Lodge with 2 floors, lookout towers, reinforced defensive walls, and siege countermeasures. Now with the new Barbsy Deluxe Dream Chariot, pulled by her lovable dire lions Painbow and Claudia. Need combat buffs? Don't forget Kenneth the Minstrel. He doesn't get into fights, but his bardic inspiration helps Barbsy cut down her enemies like wheat in the field. A field of death. When it comes to fashion and murder, Barbsy always slays.
It's Barbsy. Barbsy. I think if I could live record any one commercial to make an actual video commercial out of that isn't just edited footage, but it's something that we shot, it would have to be Barbsy, because you can picture it so clearly as it's playing. And you could actually make, oh yeah, Penny totally has a Barbsy collection, I bet. And might dress up as Barbsy for Halloween. That'd be cute. But actually getting knockoff Barbie dolls and making little barbarian blood thrones and shit like that. That'd be so good. Especially if we could hire a couple of kids to play with the Barbsies and act out horrible death scenes, dumping little buckets of blood on each other. Oh boy, that would be good. I think it would actually just be one of those dollar store Barbie things. They always have it's Stacy or something, it's Teresa and she's in a slightly off purple box, and it's not Barbie. She's not quite as elongated as Barbie. She's slightly more normal looking. I mean, I know I did. I had a friend growing up that had a very, very, very large collection of Star Wars action figures. And a pretty good selection of G.I. Joes, too. The big ones, the tall, the Barbie-sized G.I. Joes. But we played a lot of Star Wars action figures. That was the majority of what we did in middle school, hanging out. We would shoot, little comic books and stuff. It was funny. There was actually a Barbsy commercial, I think, in one of the more recent episodes. It might have even been the last one. Yeah, I mean, I never, I had some friends with Legos, but I never played with them that much. That would also be funny, Joey JoJo's. Or there's 2 versions of Barbie. There's Fashion Barbsy, and then Raging Barbsy, which is just the super buff macho dude action figure with a Barbsy head on it. And a chainmail bikini. But yeah, there was a Barbsy one recently, and it was the different Barbsy play sets. I remember the Friendship is Eternal Funeral Pyre. That made me laugh. The titles of the things matter so much in a Barbie commercial. Barbies, if you can dream it, you can be it. Barbershop, pet shop. It's intrinsic to that. It needs to be an adventure that places the CEO offices from various commercials, like fighting through an army of Barbsies or a hag from Baba Java. Nice, yeah. Having the products manifest as challenges. That's good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, let's play a commercial.
Long ago, 2 lone wanderers happened upon a great mossy stone, embossed deeply with runes in a forgotten tongue. They were afraid. It seemed to know them. It seemed to create both light and darkness. They worshipped it as their new god, wrote songs and stories about its majesty, and never left its side. They fed on the moss and dared to touch it only in moments of desperation. They grew old at its base, and as they lay dying at the end of their lives' long roads, a crack emerged, and from it came a stream of mystical chartreuse syrup. It was the All Sauce. The All Sauce. The All Sauce. In their final moments, they reached out with hands shaking and let the fluid wash over their fingers. In frantic desperation, they put their hands to their mouths and tasted the forbidden extract. And they knew the flavor of the all sauce. The all sauce. The all sauce. And nothing had ever been so delicious.
Now you can find all sauce at your local grocer's. Goes great on chicken. Perfect finish to any stew. Make a sandwich you'll tell your descendants about.
It tastes like tomorrow.
All sauce, the forbidden flavor.
The all sauce.
Wait, hold on.
The all sauce.
Thanks, Enrix. I like that little toss in too. Interesting. The stuff. Never heard of it. Dippin' Dots. That makes sense. Yeah, I can't remember if All Sauce is, I think All Sauce is from near the end of season 1. Whenever I hear the voice that I came up with on the spot that was, it tastes like tomorrow. For some reason in my head, I always picture the little short old man from the beginning of Emperor's New Groove. It's not quite his voice, but it just it also seems to fit him. You know who I'm talking? The one who gets kicked out. You can't describe the flavor of the all sauce. It tastes like a lineage of magic. It tastes like the history of discovery. Nope, you're right, Enrix. It's just fry sauce. It's just mayo ketchup, a little Worcestershire, some pureed pickle discs. Fry sauce. I sell so much fucking fry sauce at work. So much fry sauce. But I use my own recipe. And everyone's like, you have ranch? And I'm like, no, it's kind of an Asian menu. I don't really keep any ranch around. Then again, we do have fry sauce, so maybe I just do it to spite them. Dana, everyone say thank you, Dana, for gifting tiered subs. Also revealing the names of the lurkers who randomly caught your subs. Hearts in chat for Dana. See, that's another part of the mystery. Was it the best thing they ever tasted because they hadn't eaten in so long? That's part of the mystery. Thank you for subbing so quickly, Enforcer. Much appreciated. Thank you, Duck Dodgers 2, for the subscription. I don't recognize your screen name, and I think I would, as a Duck Dodgers fan. And Millman, thank you. I remember Wasabioli. I do. They carried it at the what's it called? The big grocery store that we have in Portland. That's owned by the employees. Why can't I think of it? Wingco. That's the one. They had it there. Big aisle end display cases of it. Yeah. Speaking of selling things, let's listen to a commercial.
Be gone from this place, or face my steel. Me crush your bones. Uh-oh.
Let's cut to the point. Sometimes you get smacked in the tum-tum during battle, and some poop happens. Even the toughest of warriors are victim to their own biological systems, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Blunt trauma to the abdomen combined with an adventurer's already questionable diet can lead to embarrassing cleanup during short rests and hard-to-wash stains in small cloths and leather armor. It's time to make a change. Defend's Adventuring Diapers are here to help you stay confident, clean, and always ready to continue the fight. Tight seals, breathable materials, durable and comfortable. All reliable and top-of-the-line Under Armour Hero diapers stand up to the tests of fire damage, dexterity checks, and of course time. Up to 72 hours guaranteed. In sizes ranging from gnome to minotaur. Don't let the poop from your butt ruin a perfectly good violent conflict. Get Defend's Adventuring Diapers today.
Butt jokes. I got them. Sometimes you just have to make a poop joke. Exactly, Save Man. That's what we go for. You picture them in your head. And Defends, it's just a good, it's good, you know? When you get a name that really works as a D&D joke that sounds just like a real product, that's the best. That is the best. I think that's why Viagra is still one of our best ones. Hey, Val. Welcome, welcome. So we've been streaming for almost half an hour, and we've made it through, it looks like 6 commercials. That's a pretty good rate. That's a lot of commercials. You only get one a week, and now you're getting a whole buttload all at once. And can you notice the flashing of these lights? I've got this like USB power thing, Surge, that's like, they're all hooked into one deal. I need to get a new power strip or something for these USB cords. Because I ain't having this. In fact, I think I have just the thing that I could put over there. But that's not the point. Yeah, it's a frame rate thing. You wouldn't notice, even though I'm framing at 60 frames per second, but it's very, very subtle. Very subtle. Anyway, let's dig deep into the past with one of our very first commercials. Not the first, but it was in the early episodes, first 10 at least.
Lots of folks these days move at a high speed. They keep their character sheets on tablets, and they roll 2d4 when drinking a healing potion. Well, call me old-fashioned, but here at Domain Farms, we make our healing potions the way they did in the good old days. Sure, 1d8 ain't quite as rewarding as 2d4. That's the way our daddy made them, and that tradition lives on with us. Ain't that right, Scraps? Domain Farms, old-fashioned 1d8 healing potions. You know it'll last if it's cured.
I too am a fan of the Domain Farms commercial. We did a video one of that too, actually. I edited together it's just like scenes of like farmlands and silhouettes of cowboys leaning against fences. And it cuts to a dog when he says, "Ain't that right, Scraps?" Yeah. And plus it's a good joke because like when I feel so weird trying to like review my own humor. I'm sorry if this sounds weird because I am like one of the least talk about my own stuff persons. But I've been doing it so long, I'm just trying to like really analyze it. I kind of want you to tell me I'm wrong in some zombie. Neighborhood Cowboy, thank you for lurking. And thank you, Zombie, for giving them a sub. Say thank you. Hearts in chat. Hearts in chat. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't like reviewing my own stuff, but here we go. It's just I liked the joke that in 5e they changed the dice you used for hit points. And that's just like the right amount of fourth wall breaking. They're like referring to the fact that like, hey, we're in a new edition now, and some people refuse to change with the editions that are coming out, and they cling to the past for some reason. So we're gonna make fun of the way hit points used to work, or imply that it was a better system. It's just like these newfangled people with their fancy character sheets. We just rolled one dice back in the day. And when I wrote it, I remember thinking like, this will be good for like 5 other commercials where we can lean into like some elemental resistance potions and remove curse, all from the perspective of some like sun-baked old farmhand. And that's what we did. Those commercials totally happened. In fact, I think the very last episode of season 1, the finale, has a Domain Farms commercial that I wrote specifically to kind of tie all of the commercials together. Weirdly, like a little bow at the end of the commercials. Excuse me. Oh, it's this one. This is a short one, but I like this one a lot. Let's check it out.
Some people run through the forest and shoot from afar in the fight. Some people live for 1,000 years and cast ancient spells in the night.
There's trouble in the old woods, which could be goblins or could be romance, on tonight's very special episode of Fey Watch.
Ooh, got the tail end of a little commercial there. Which one is it? Ooh. Oh, Fey Watch. I remember listening to the Baywatch theme like 10 times in a row, beginning to end, not just the beginning part, and listening to Hasselhoff belt it at the top of his lungs. Hey, it did, Kadaji. You spotted it. It did happen. But I remember I was still using my Yeti back then. And in order to hit those kind of notes, unless your volume's like all the way at the bottom, you're going to peak. So I remember recording that from about 4 feet away from my microphone and just singing it as loud as I could and thinking about what the neighbors must have thought. Because it took like 3 or 4 takes to make it sound just how I wanted. So, oops. Sorry, neighbors. Enjoy. I'm sure they loved it. Thank you, Enorex. Sidonis. Getting a tier 1 sub. This is fun. I like it when people give subs. I feel like, we're really streaming. We're really streaming here. Gabe Jelly. I recognize that name from the Discord. Who could forget such a name? Some of them really burrow their way into your frontal lobe. So one thing we don't do anymore with the commercials, and not because we didn't like it, but because now we're... Oh, well, thank you for the follow as well, JoJo's. I didn't know you hadn't yet, but thank you for clicking that button. It actually helps the channel a ton, like a bunch. Surprisingly, because we're still pretty small as far as Twitch channels. But something we don't do anymore is we used to have more open air that we needed to fill, I guess, if that makes sense. So we did, like, for a long time, I think until, like, episode 60, maybe? And thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. But anyway, we used to do 2 commercials per episode. And thank you, it's solid. Thank you. All you have to do is tell people that it helps, and they'll do it, and it does. I'm not lying. But I'm glad to know that works. Hey, we got a hype train level 2 just from all the gifted subs and follows. That's cool. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Rad. Look at us making people happy. Yay. But we used to do 2 commercials per episode. 2 like created parody commercials every episode. And it was a lot more work because you have to think of twice as many good jokes in a week. That's a lot of pressure. Thank you for 1,000 subs cheered. 1,000 subs. Jesus, that would be like a lot of money. I don't know what bits are. I don't understand how. 1,000 subs. I don't actually know how Twitch works that well. I have an idea, but I really enjoyed the news service thing. Oh, yeah. No, Mackinac News 5, totally. And I think that was around the time we transitioned from like 2 commercials every episode to having more like consistent meta. I think it was in like the late 40s or so, we started doing a rotation of Mackinac News 5, Behind the Shield, League Beefs, level 2 Hype Train. We got to level 3. We did it. With Thomas Turner. And I guess what I was leading into, sorry, that was kind of a bit of a tangent, which I guess is what we're here for. You guys kind of want to peek behind the curtain, I guess. Because we talk a lot about what it takes for the show, but I kind of thought this would be fun to like really talk about what goes into making the commercials. Because I do one every week, and like Zach's done his share too. Like they're great. I love his commercials. Just so happens if I was to pick for a chunk from any, most of them would be mine. But it's just kind of one of my jobs, one of the things I'm expected to do, and I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. But I just thought it would be fun to kind of like talk about what goes into the commercial side of it, you know. At least how I do it. Gabe Jelly, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. This is amazing. Pyra 9 subscribed. I can't even keep up with all this. You guys are amazing. What I was going to say, though, if I could focus for a minute without all these shiny, Izzy Boshi, you subscribed. And that means you're here. That's the most surprising part of that alert pop-up, is that you're here and haven't said anything. And a tiny puppy. Oh, thank you, Gabe Jelly. And thanks for joining the Discord. So what I was going to say is I'm going to play 2 commercials this time because it's from before when we used to do it. Well, it only happened a couple times. It's that the first commercial before the mid-roll and then the second commercial after the mid-roll are kind of tied together narratively. There was one that I did that was like one of those political like flame ads. It was like the Soros election, I believe is what it was. And it was like, vote for Thidrius Naldor. He's good to the people. He loves the farmers. And the second half was like, don't vote for Thidrius Naldor. But that means I am going to play 2 this time. So you can expect that. And I hope you enjoy them.
It doesn't matter if you're a cobbler, a cartographer, or a knight in shining armor. Accidents happen. And when the time comes, you'll need to be prepared to take care of your family, your loved ones, and your adventuring party. Second Divinity Resurrection Life Insurance gives you the second chance many don't receive. Never stress over savings again, especially death saving throws. Weave a diamond with your name on it. Second Divinity Resurrection Life Insurance. You deserve a raise.
Death is part of life. Bravery is rewarded with legends, but bodies are simply burned or buried. Before you go building a burning pyre for your fallen ally, or scrounge together the coin for an expensive resurrection, consider donating their bodies to the Second Twilight Necromancy Foundation. Their bodies can be put to great service in the fields of research, components for powerful spells, and the creation of free, tireless labor to help improve and protect our homeland. Don't be deceived by the rumors of black magic. Donate your fallen friends today. The Second Twilight Necromancy Foundation. We put the ego in necromancy.
Delicious. I liked those 2 as a pairing because one, they were fine characters. You could picture them. It was good jokes, Resurrected Life Insurance was one of the first jokes we goofed about, just like brainstorming LUQ in the beginning. And they both had a really good tagline. I always try to have a good pun tagline on my commercials. And you deserve a raise, and we put the eco and necromancy are both exactly the kind of thing I go for. But also, weirdly, like, when browsing for music online, going through one of the deep rabbit holes of music that I can purchase to use or ones that we have access to through donations in the past, I actually found 2 tracks that sounded like a weird version of the same song, but one in a very somber minor key. totally by accident, different composers. And they're not, obviously not. They just kind of sound like it. Like you can kind of picture it in your head, like this is from the same movie, but this is a sad scene instead of a happy scene. The music that goes into the commercial is a whole other thing. We collect as much as we can, but we use a lot from Brilliant Studios, which is a page we donated to when we first started looking to buy our own music. And boy, do we use them a lot. They've only got so many tracks, but we're grateful for them. We're always looking for like humble bundles and stuff. Dana, more gifted subs. Thank you. Wow, I can't remember the last time we had this many viewers. I'm going to open up my stream activity doc too, if it'll open. Oh, it's supposed to be open. That's not good. Wow, it just doesn't exist, huh? Cool, I can't see my dipping sauce. Thank you. Well, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who's clicking subscribe after getting a free gift. Do I know how many commercials I've made total? Well, 112 episodes in season 1 and 30 episodes in season 2. So right there, we're pushing about 150 episodes. The first 50, I would say, had 2 commercials each. So over 200, and that does not include Manscaped advertisements or meta segments that are like one of my favorites. It's not on here. It's not. I don't know if I consider it a commercial. Was the legacy, the history insight to the Triad War, and it like told the different stories, just like one of the History Channel documentaries about the Civil War or something. And like they were reading letters and journal entries from people who were in different armies in the war, and they were all like linked together. And it was really good, like method. It was a good source of media to create world lore. So like, I want to tell the history about an old war in Mackinac. I can literally do it as like a history show where they're reading the letters. And the first one I remember because it sounds like it's got that classic like country violin, like Little Home on the Prairie sounding. And it's like one of those literal letters from the Civil War, like, "My dearest Ophelia, it is so fine to see you on this winter's day." Like that kind of dialogue. So like, and of course it's like a high fantasy setting. So it's not like the Southern United States during the Civil War at all, but it's funny. Yeah, there was some fun writing that went into those. But yeah, so I guess around 250, maybe 200-ish, we'll call it, to be safe. And then 20 plus weird meta segments that are commercial-like in nature, well edited. And then we're going to subtract, I think, like 10. I think Zach has done 10. I don't know, though. I don't really try to keep track of that from week to week. Yeah, like you really can't ask for a better tie-in as a DM than having things like Mackinac News 5 and Behind the Shield, kind of. That's literally just lore about the LUQ, not Mackinac itself. Although we tie it a little bit in, but just like it's a great, like it's literally like having scenes where you can just like pause your characters from talking and have someone give a lecture about your world. It's good. It's a treat for the viewers, really. Like if that's the kind of thing I would look for in a D&D podcast, I guess. Which is, I guess, why we make it that way. Have a commercial.
Bubble, bubble, brew a double. Water boil and strain a tubful. Classic roast of nut and oak. Grind the beans and let them soak. Mocha, drip, or macchiato. Dash of cream or black ristretto. Origin of fairest trade. By the ounce and pound be weighed. Smoky herbs of bitter plum. By the cupful this brew comes. Start your morning ritual with Baba Java and the Caffeine Coven. Now that's black magic.
Ah, Baba Java. Thank you, Dana. You're killing it right now. And thank you, Save Man. I like the mug too. Oh, Kadaji, I'm sorry. I have the sound effects turned off for the alert box, and I forgot to mention it. Because I didn't want it to interrupt the commercials. That's what people are here for. Yeah, I was the hag. I've done, unless it's one of Zach's commercials, I'm the only one that does any voices for my stuff. I don't, except for like 2 I had my roommate do, but I don't think any of those are here. Hey, you made it to level 4. That's amazing. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate that. You all are you're cheering me up a lot. I'm in a good mood considering I just got my truck stolen last night. So congratulations on your magic reversing that. That's powerful. Truly is. Choo-choo! I don't have a choo-choo sound effect. Oh no. What do I have that's close to a choo-choo? How's that? Is that close enough? That's a train made of wolf.
Dare you board the wolf train?
I have proposed some great ideas for new train whistles. That got me. That's very funny. 90s radio station, hell yeah. Howlin' Mad Murphy. Excellent and wonderful. Excellent and wonderful. Oh yeah, Kadaji, my truck was stolen last night. It's gone. It also had a bunch of my camping gear in it, so that's fun. I mean, honestly, like whoever took it, if they really needed it, like they fucking lucked out. They got a little gas burner, they got a tent, a sleeping bag that's rated for mountain hiking. I think there was a little tiny propane torch. Like they're set. They're gonna have a better winter than they were before. And if I get my truck back, that'd be cool, but seems unlikely. Yeah, I've got real good luck. Just my thing. But you know what'll make you forget all about vehicular theft? Commercials.
Strength, dexterity, constitution. These are the foundations of a healthy, adventuring body. Maximize your core stats by exercising your core. Work your abs, arms, lower back, and legs. Buff your mods in just 10 minutes a day with the new Andesian Dexinflex. With the weight training power of Dwarven Full Plate, but the agility toning flexibility of an Elven Longbow. Just 10 easy payments of 29 Drac gets you the cutting-edge Andesian Dexinflex. Darn good grubs lose weight through Ale and Steak Diet Cookbook. Alchemically enhanced vitamin supplements. 9-page instructional manual. And a Dexinflex tank top to show off your min-maxed bod. The Andesian Dexinflex. Your friends will think you rolled stats alone.
Okay, one of the best jokes I've ever put into a commercial, hands down, is them listing off all of the things that come with the product and mentioning the 9-page instruction manual as like a selling point to buying the thing. It's fucking buck wild and it cracks my shit up. I just put little treats like that in there for me later, like a chicken digging corn out of a shag carpet. I remember this. Yum, yum, yum. That's the thing. It's like it's a fucking instruction manual. Of course it comes with one. You're not allowed to sell them without that. I mean, it's not my favorite, but that's like the kind of thing that matters most to me reviewing my own comedy writing. You dig? Also, this is one from season 1 that everyone kind of forgets about, but I feel like as far as the commercials that I ever re-listen to, the goal of me creating something that you can really see in your head and feel like you're watching it, which is what I really shoot for. I think this is one of my best ones, and it's kind of forgotten. And I feel like out of all the commercials I made in season 1, it's probably one of the ones that just like took the most tweaking to make it sound how I wanted and recording multiple things, but it doesn't really matter. I just think that's an interesting view into like when I look at the commercials and I can present them to you, what I'm looking for, what I remember, and what you can listen to and be like, oh, this is what he considers successful, or oh, this is what more work sounds like. So maybe that's fun for you. I would like it if you had fun with that.
From humble beginnings playing for copper in Rotward hovels, to sold-out shows at the Nenmerian Solar Dome, this is the story of Gabriel Edelweiss, the man who reinvented the mandolin. He'd get on stage and just charm the entire audience. I hardly even remember the music.
He was a poet, a force of nature. He was also a half-elf, which helped his charisma score.
To the dark secrets lying underneath.
Every show I was tripped off my ass on illegal alchemy. I used to go to Andersine once a season to buy whatever trash they'd sell me. I'd leave with full bags of holding. Once some dark elves tried to kidnap me for ransom, but their sleeping darts just gave me a hard-on. I was fucked up 24/7.
I tried to heal him with magic once, and I actually heard my god say no.
The legend, the mystery, the tragedy. Gabriel Edelweiss, the man who put the man in mandolin. Tonight on Nexus Entertainment, Behind the Minstrel.
Ooh. That's one of those ones where thank you. Yeah. It's one of those ones where you can feel yourself like as a teenager seeing the commercials for Behind the Music, scaring the shit out of you. Be like, the Rolling Stones. But were they really a band? The drugs. The booze. Also, I remember listening in thanks, Dane. I remember in the Andesian Dexinflex commercial, he referenced Darn Good Grub's Full Plate Diner. And I like that we had commercials that tied into each other. The ones that were like in the same world, But that would also be like asking Denny's to make you a diet cookbook to sell with your treadmill. Anyway, speaking of fan favorites, yeah, speaking of fan favorites, here's it's not the original one, but it is one of the ones that got some good response. Let's just dive in.
Hey there, Bonric X-Breaker here again, welcoming you to another episode of Get Her Dungeon. Now, we've been looking at ways to upgrade your beloved dungeon while saving money and learning how she really works, but today we're going to talk about some preventative renovations. The biggest risk you have to worry about when maintaining halls full of traps and secrets is rogues. Now, I know what you're thinking. These ancient halls have stood for 1,000 years, so no mortal would dare challenge my domain or etc. Well, I got some bad news for you on that front. Yeah, some little street rat with a leather wallet full of pointy metal bits is gonna roll in here and unzip this baby like a sleeping bag. They're crafty, and they tend to travel with groups, and they can be tricky to kill. To help defend your dungeon from rogues, remember my 3 eyes. The first is isolate. Get them away from their group. And good news is, they do this on their own pretty often. Now, some of them know a thing or two about fighting, but they're gonna try to hide from you, so be aware, and keep your halls well lit. And once they're on their own, if you can get your hands on them, you'll have a much better time getting rid of them. Removing their allies makes it way harder for them to defend themselves, and do what's known as a sneak attack. The second is inconvenience. And these little devils will take apart a trap like a jigsaw puzzle and open a door that's been locked for 200 years with half a toothbrush. Keep them on their toes. You can't pick a lock if you're covered in fire ants. The third is intoxicate. Rogues are quick. You can fill this whole room with arcane fire, and those crafty buggers will do a backflip and walk away without so much as a singed eyebrow. Now you fill this room with deadly nerve gas, and they ain't as tough against poison. Isolate, inconvenience, and intoxicate. And take care of your beloved dungeon and spend time to rogue-proof it. Before you know it, you'll be up to your neck in adventurers looking for some free treasure. And that's your treasure. Join me every Sunday for a new episode of Get Her Dungeon, brought to you by the Nexus Enterprise.
Who could forget Get Her Dungeon? Yeah, if there was like an animation company that came to me and was like, hey, we want to make a whole season of Get Her Dungeon, I'd be like, done. I get to play the voice and I get to help storyboard the show. Let's make it. Let's fucking do it. I'll help write it. Like, let's go. 10-minute episodes of Bonerick Axebreaker just talking about dungeons. The idea of this old house with this character, this Wisconsin dwarf, just talking about breaking the fourth wall and referring to how rogues work, you know? Plushy Billiam. I mean, we have a merch line. It's all mostly Teespring stuff, but we've got Get Her Dungeon shirts, and I like the Baba Java mug because it's a coffee mug. We don't have the option to make plushies right now, unfortunately. That's a big investment. You need someone usually to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, you want to make plushies?" What was I saying? I don't like I like the bag, the tote bag for Baba Java more, only because me as a person, as a human, drinks really, really big cups of coffee. And now if I go back to normal sized coffee cups, I feel like betrayed somehow. So if you drink normal sized human coffee cups, the coffee cup is amazing. They're actually really nice cups and they look cool. But for me, it's like rolling a regular D20 after rolling a metal one for so long. You like pick it up and you're like, it's so light. What's happening? Baba Java apron. I feel like, boy, I haven't thought of it in a long time, but the Halfling Bake Off, that'd make a good plushie. Or not a plushie, an apron. Well, I'll look into it. Also, by the way, I know there's a typo. I know there's a typo in the Fayaway commercial thing. I made it like a year and a half ago. I'm sorry. It's a flattened JPEG. I can fuck with it now. It wouldn't be hard, but I haven't. Yes, the Great Halfling Bake Off. Hell yeah, Kadaji. Hell yeah. So this commercial, just like, if you know, I'm guessing that a lot of people, like, when they're listening to the commercials, they're like, how is this made, you know? I mean, how could I do something like this? I don't know. That could be fun. This is a really good example. Like, all the commercials I played, except for Fayaway, is just my voice. It's no one else. It's just me. And then occasionally a slight voice modulator. If I need to, like, sometimes when I need to play like a child or a very, I don't know, like high-pitched female voice, sometimes I'll tweak it like just a little bit and pitch shift it to help. But this is a great example of what it sounds like to record a commercial that involves a group of like 8 characters all talking to each other and hearing their voices independently. And this is why I personally feel like a strong character voice, in pitch and in delivery, and not just like an accent or something, is really key for something like this specific. So listen to this one and you'll hear all the different voices like stacked over each other. This one's like super edited and it's not perfect or anything. So I feel like that comes through. So yeah, enjoy that aspect of this one.
All right, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting of TBA. Thank you all for being here. Just a quick reminder that we aren't here to judge one another. We're here to talk about ourselves and get the help that we all need. This is a non-judgment zone. I see a lot of new faces tonight, so let's go around the table and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Helvar.
Hi, Helvar.
When I was a child, a band of orcs ransacked my farm village and killed my family and everyone that I cared about. I survived, and I swore to learn the ways of war and seek vengeance for the innocent lives lost that day, and to bring justice to all evil that wishes to harm others. It is my one driving force.
Hello, I am Lasar.
Hi,
Lasar.
As a babe, my family sold me for 3 silver to the slavers of the Namari Mountains. When I was old enough to hold a blade, I was thrown into the fighting pits. I had to kill to survive. I grew stronger and stronger, until the day I killed the men that imprisoned me. Now, I must always be on the move. There are eyes searching for me. Every day is a new battle, and every night I sleep with one eye open.
Hi, my name's Miriana.
Hi, Miriana.
I have no parents. I was found wrapped in a black cloak as a baby on the steps to the halls of inquiry. There was a note pinned to me from an ancient language that even the ancient scholars therein could not interpret. They raised me in the cold halls of the Brotherhood of Knowledge, and I learned the ways of the gods and the power of magic through discipline and suffering. And one day I will translate the mysterious note and find out my true origin. Until then, I am alone.
I am Ebrinax.
Hi, Ebrinax.
When I turned 13, the voices came to me, and I listened. At their whim, I slaughtered my foolish family and consumed their flesh to gain the powers of the void promised to me by the unseen voices. Many more have fueled my hunger and my dark magic.
Ew.
Abomination.
Now, just hang on a second. This is a no-judgment zone. We've all made some questionable choices in our past, and excluding someone isn't going to help solve any problems. Now, Helvar, it sounds like the reason you get up each day is to seek vengeance and dish out what you believe is justice. Well, I need you to start the day for you. Have a good breakfast. Take some rest when you need it. Lasar, you live a life on the run. And you found the freedom that you earned and that we all deserve. But I get the feeling that you're still a slave to your own self-confidence. Love yourself, man. Mariana, you never had a family. Your origins are shrouded in mystery. But family isn't just our bloodline. It sounds like there's some folks at the Halls of Inquiry who care about you quite a bit. Maybe our real family is who we can really count on. And Ebrinax, you eat everyone that you get close to. It sounds like you've got a hole that you're trying to fill with untold eldritch power. But that's never going to hit the spot. I think what you need to fill up on is self-worth. Maybe start a new hobby, like painting or collecting antique pottery. Remember, here at Tragic Backstory Anonymous, we are not the path that led us here. We are where we're going. Being edgy does not make us cool. We adventure for ourselves. Tragedy does not define us. Good job, everyone. Now let's talk about social interactions.
Tragic Backstory Anonymous. Join today.
Tragic Backstory Anonymous. Can I just say that I actually think Miriana is a really cool character background concept? I would play that character. I've always said like I have a really hard time picking like what kind of my favorite class is, but like the older I get, the more I lean into it. It's just like I like spellcasters so much. People who study magic and learn to cast spells, that's my shit. That's my fucking jam. Yeah, totally. And I also just like how the character Ebernax like always speaks like a half beat behind everyone. Like for some reason his thoughts don't reach his mouth as fast as everyone else's. And I like the therapist guy. I think he was a good character. Because like his advice is so like vanilla generic, but he's actually like really doing a good job of dissecting the things they're saying. I like that one. I like that one. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit too, though, because we're moving into it now. And I'd like to finish this playlist, but I might not even get to. We're only like halfway through. So I'll kind of look at the chat to gauge when we're wrapping up based on your reactions. Because I'm just gonna keep going, I think, and otherwise. Welcome back to the Patron Game, the game show that pairs one lonely warlock with the patron of their dreams. 3 mysterious, powerful entities hide just behind that screen, waiting to take you by the hand and guide your soul to the realm of untold power. So let's get back to the questions.
Okay, patron number 1. I love traveling. If we were traveling along the Ivory Coast on a long walk and we got ambushed by hobgoblins, what kind of invocations would you use to protect me? I mean, us.
I would open fissures to the very earth and consume them with untold flame.
Sounds hot. Patron 2, same question.
The mind is fragile. With a whisper, I would set their rage against one another, and as we watched them slaughter themselves like puppets on a string, I would sing to you the lost songs of the Black Forest.
Ooh, I love a good singing voice. Okay, patron 3, how about you? Yes, you are perfect. I choose 3.
You heard it here, folks. She chose number 3. Come to think of it, I choose 3 as well. What do you say, folks? Do we all choose 3? Fantastic. We've all chosen patron number 3. Don't bother joining us next week. We've all committed our mortal lives to become one with the endless void of anguish. Come on, everybody. I also choose 3. And that is one of the ones, I didn't remember that was on this list. That's one of the ones that I got someone else to help me do a voice for. And they did a really good job. Really good. I love the voice they did. They're a very good performer. Yeah, it's actually an ex of mine. We weren't like together when I made the commercial. I just literally called on them. Because I was like, hey, I need a voice in this really specific kind of style. And they were still living in town. And I was like, yeah, you should come help me record this. And it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. Just to make it like feel more natural, you know, because sometimes like going somewhere and just recording something that's not your idea can be like, it's hard to set the tone. So I was like, I waited to record my part until they were there and they could like watch and see how I do it on my side. And a lot of fun. If they were still around, I would still call on them to help with some voice stuff. Truly. For like a very over the top character voice or a commercial style voice, there. Great pick. Well, good night, Anrex and Kadaji. Sorry you had to leave early. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you're not sad that I'm still going. Well, if everyone's leaving, I can stop it here. That's not a problem. I had no timeline on this. It's been just over an hour. I guess in my head I was thinking around 2, but I didn't really, bank on anything. I didn't know how long I would talk between segments. I just kind of went into it. Well, I think I'm going to play a few more anyway. And just kind of read the room. And in the meantime, I can stop talking and play the dang commercials.
Dungeons can be delved and monsters slain, but what about the last great adventure? Hi, I'm Stormclad Thundertongue. There comes a day in every hero's life when they stop and ask themselves how long they can go on. How long before they are felled by the greatest enemy of all, time. We can't all die gloriously on the battlefield, but for those who lived, there's Legendary Acres.
I knew happily ever after was too good to be true. The townsfolk could only hear the one about the terrace and the Darren's instant fortress so many times before they just tuned it out. I wasn't about to be some wrinkly old has-been, boring the ears off of young'uns. So I took my untold riches and checked into Legendary Acres.
Don't wait for some young punk to get lucky, making a name for himself as the villain who slew the Herald of the Unblinking Eye. Legendary Acres exclusively employs prospective and recovering heroes, young men and women who will happily soak up decades or centuries of wisdom and experience.
These boys have never heard the exploits of the Marigold Mistress. They blush like young ladies.
For those with a little fight left in them, we offer the Twilight Gauntlet package, with custom dungeons, special monster encounters during outdoor time, and a relaxed rule set.
They never said I couldn't steal from that old paladin's room. If he wants the amulet of the thrice burned back, he's gonna have to find me first.
The other night I grabbed my cloak, and before I knew it, the damn thing had its teeth in my neck. A cloaker at my age. I still got it. And for the particularly long-lived, or those who just want peace, the Tranquil Gardens have an endless Arcadian bounty, with domesticated Fey, with just the right amount of mischief. Of course, we keep Fayaway in every breathtaking cottage, just in case.
I'm 1,090 years old. I just want to be left alone. But at least I'll get to see dozens of these old humans leave through the back door before I check out.
For some, fading into legend comes when you least expect it. For the rest of us, there's Legendary Acres.
I can't pretend Legendary Acres isn't my favorite commercial Zach's made. I feel like it's everyone's, and it's that good to deserve it. It's a great commercial. I remember being in the car with Zach, I think, and that was when we were at his basement apartment place, trying to make Pokemon videos and brainstorming early LUQ stuff. But he was just like, we were trying to brainstorm commercials. He was like, I want to make another commercial. And we would just bounce the idea around about like this retirement home. And it's like, what if it was Storm? And it's just like, I think he like went straight home and recorded it because it was such a good, fresh idea. So that's a fun story about that one. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And this one is one of the few commercials where genuinely sometimes I wait too long or the last minute, or I don't put a lot of thought into how I do my commercials. This one was absolutely, truthfully, one where I just got home after hanging out with friends at a bar, I think. It was one of those few nights when I actually kind of tie one off and kick back a little bit, which does not happen very often. But I got home and all of my recording equipment was like still set up from earlier in the day when I had worked on like some meta. And I hit play, or I hit record, and I just improvised something and cut it in one take, and then I put some music on it and turned it into a whole commercial. It was literally just like me walking home from the bar and like something got in my head and started bouncing around. And then when I get home, it's just, bleh. I guess this will work. And people still talk about this one. It's pretty funny that it worked out that way. It's very much like I think they do some method acting like that on like Rick and Morty, where they always have the guy who plays Rick get drunk before he records or something. Or that's a gimmick they go off of. I like that kind of thing though, that sometimes it just works. Let's listen.
Hey there, my name's Philip, and you probably know me from one of them episodes of the League of Ultimate Ding Dongs. Kind of made me a little bit of a local celebrity when I had a cameo on that. And Well, I used to work at the Yellowstone Market, but I quit that job, and I figured it was about time to get my feet under me and sort of start my own entrepreneurship. You know, there's a rough economy and all, so I got myself a little bit of a food cart business, and I'm selling myself some fresh biscuits. So if you're ever down in Torrillas, come on down to Philip's Biscuits. And everyone says to me, hey, Philip, why don't you sell beans? Isn't that your trademark? All beans, that's what Philip says. Well, let me tell you, would you rather have a bowl of beans or a fresh biscuit? I bet I know the answer to that. It's gonna be biscuits, and that's why I'm selling fresh biscuits. And we got butter, and we don't got no jam yet, so we're kind of in a BYO jam predicament, but we'll be getting it in real soon. So if you come down to Torrilli, come and support this little 13-year-old boy's first business project and buy yourself a fresh biscuit. My name's Philip, and I want you to fill up your mouth with my biscuits. Come on down.
Still makes me laugh. Oh God, where did I come up with some of those things? I was pretty drunk. And that was the first time there was any joke about Philip interacting with biscuits at all. Because it was just like, oh, of course, everyone's going to assume he wants to sell beans because it's his trademark. But like, no, he's going to sell biscuits because it's a funny word to say in Philip's voice. And everything else, I think everything else in that commercial came conceptually from the way the word biscuit sounds in your mouth. That's it. Doing the character voice and saying the word biscuit and how it feels and how it sounds. I was just like, make a whole thing out of it. Entrepreneur. BYO jam? Come on. Fill up your mouth with biscuits. I think I'm going to skip the next one. I'm going to get closer to the end. I think I'm going to just go through and play like some of the ones that really stand out. This one's super short and it has some funny sound effects, so maybe I'll just go with that. Let's test this out. I want to see how it sounds I'll just like be off my own mic, but I don't want to have to like mute it and everything. See if it sounds good. Let me know.
People say that happy cows make the best milk. Well, what would you say if I told you our cows were full-time employees with signed contracts, health insurance, and employee benefits? That's right. Here at Minotaur Creamery, we believe that consent and compensation make the best milk your gold can buy.
It's a good job. I make my own hours, and I'm treated like I'm part of the team because I am.
Try our new Rosemary Double Cream Labyrinth Cheese, Bighorn Heavy Whipping Cream, or just start your day with a cold glass of our Minotaur Whole Milk. Minotaur Creamery. We put the dairy in legendary.
It's such a real sound. It's too real. You hear that sound and you can feel the heat of it. You can taste it in the air. It's amazing. The idea of the milk just hitting the bucket and the source is just this huge buff Minotaur dude. You can hear him grunting. It's fucking hilarious to me. It kills me so hard. And every time I hear that sound, I lose it. Oh, there was a perfect example of what that... I can't think of it now. It's like a way to describe exactly how it makes me feel. Oh, yeah, it's like that fucking meme. The horrible meme was like, hey, are you frying... What are you doing, frying chicken in here? Just kidding. You piss loud. I think that's cool as fuck. It's like on TikTok. I think it's a Sonic the Hedgehog meme with Rouge the Bat. But it makes me think of that. Just a very forceful milk stream. Okay. That's good stuff. Did it sound okay with me staying on? It's like kind of funny watching myself to react to these with like honest reactions. Did that work out okay? Okay, cool. And Val, I don't have that one on this playlist, but if you want, actually, we have the video version that Izzy Boshi edited together for us, the Seaman commercial. So if you give me a minute near the end, I can actually probably bring that into this OBS scene and play it. It's one of those, I requested it to Izzy. I wanted one of those typographic animated videos where the letters like really form the words as they're happening. So I was requesting a very big edit. I knew, but it was a concept that I knew Izzy could visualize and knew what I was talking about. And that excited me because Izzy's very clever. And being able to be that specific about what was in my head made it easier to achieve, kind of. So yeah, I'll pull that one in so we can see the video. I think it's really good. It'll just take me a minute to dig it out and bring it into the OBS stream, but we can chat in the meantime. That said, this is an older commercial, but it was always one of my favorites. Like this is the kind of commercial where it should stop at a point and then it just escalates and goes into some really bizarre places, and that is a very key signature of my comedy style, where it starts out pretty normal and then how did it get here? What path took it here?
You're out for a picnic with your party, and the last thing you want is nasty vermin infesting your lighthearted lunch. Sturge in particular are aggressive this time of year. They travel in swarms of 5 to 20, and their 3-inch stingers can drain up to 1d4 plus 3 hit points per round. No thanks. That's when you reach for Sturge Dirge. It doesn't just keep sturges away, it kills their asses dead in seconds and makes them regret ever thinking about turning playable races into prey. First, Sturge Dirge fills their tiny stupid lungs with deadly nightshade vapors, paralyzing them and suffocating them in what must feel like years of grueling agony. Next, it causes their body to convulse and sizzle for up to an hour after death, warning all nearby sturges that you mean business. And your business is torturing sturges, and business is good. After that, Sturge Dirge causes the lifeless husk of the heartless sturge to emit a foul-smelling odor, detectable only by other sturges, which inhibits their mating instincts, helping to thin their numbers for future generations. Lastly, Sturge Dirge reaches across the veil of reality to pluck the soul of the dead sturge from their wicked, blood-filled afterlife, leaving them as a tormented ghost to haunt the hives of other sturges. Don't let pests ruin your picnic. Get Sturge Dirge today. Do not spray Sturge Dirge on your friends or family. Just kidding. Go ahead. Do it.
Do it.
I do like that one. Yeah, the pluck the soul from their wicked, blood-filled afterlife. Like the announcer's so upbeat and the music's so happy, and he just like fucking hates sturges so much. I love that one. I'm gonna bounce into a couple that are for me what like when I make a character that works, when I make a character that I fall in love with, it delights me. Because they come out of fucking nowhere and they just come to life and I fall in love with them. And I'm gonna bounce into a couple of them where it's like I want a spokesman for this commercial, and they were so good that they kept making more commercials because it just worked. It was a good character. So I'm going to go into that. One of my favorite examples of that next, and then another one probably right after it. For just strong vocal characters.
Hey there, my name's Mac Blockett, and I want to invite you to my store, Mac Blockett's Extra Legal Imports. We got all the tools of the trade for whatever career choices you've made. Need to pick a lock? We got the finest lock-picking tools around. For locksmiths. Need to cut through some glass? We got only the sharpest of glass cutters. For artisans who cut glass. Need to climb a wall? We got all the ropes, grappling hooks, and climbing gear you need. For like painting or roofing or whatever. We got replica wax seals from all the local noble houses. You know, for collectors of wax seals. That's a thing people do. Got pests? Come on down for the deadliest poisons money can buy. For like rats and bugs. Sorry to say, we don't sell any concealable blades or psychedelic alchemy. And if we did, they definitely wouldn't be 20% off until the end of the season. Oh well. So get on down to Mac Blockett's Extra Legal Imports, assuming you know where to find us. If you know, you know. Mac Blockett's Extra Legal Imports. You didn't get it from me.
Yeah, I love Mac Blockett. That would be funny seeing Gaspar do a commercial like working for Mac Blockett. Also, best name. Best commercial character name, hands down. Mac Blockett. It's such a Paul Blart, but perfect play on words. I love it. He sounds like Mac Blarkin, you know? And I love that one of the later commercials, like his fourth commercial, he's literally like, it's normally it's a regular commercial for something, and he hijacks it, and it turns into a commercial for Mac Blarkin selling advertising space. Like, what is this character not involved in? Oh, you didn't get the Mac Blarkin joke before? That's how good it works. You could never get it, and then you realize it'd be like, holy shit, his name's Mac Blarkin. And here's another really good character. Just one that was like, this is a very simple commercial on paper. But if I can deliver it with a funny, realized character, this could be gold. And I feel like I tapped into something that I was really happy with. Thank you, Saved Man, for subscribing.
Hello there! Are your kids on nasty street drugs? Are you the victim of household theft? Are you worried that your child care provider is smacking your kids like a big sack of dog food at the grocery store? Is your partner fooling around on you, doing sex in your home? Maybe you're into that. I don't know. But what I do know is I can help you if you want to find out. My name is Divinathan from Scryco, here to talk to you about the Claire Bear. The Claire Bear is just a regular, adorable stuffed teddy bear, but fitted with a mystical arcane eye that can let you spectate from afar what happens in your home through clairvoyant magics. Bust those dirty bad doers doing their dirty badness with the help of Claire Bear. Simply place your Claire Bear on a shelf viewing the maximum area of your household. Whisper the incantations to activate the arcane eye, and replace one of your own spare eyes with the free runic receiving stone included free in every box. Then, voila! You see what the Claire Bear sees. Do not use the Claire Bear for creepy gross stuff. This is Divinathan asking you to buy the Claire Bear from Scryco today. We see what you have done.
Divinathan is a character built entirely on delivery. And having that kind of voice in your head makes writing it so much easier. Like, the words happen on their own. Like, the idea of that voice saying things, like, you read it normally, and it's like, yeah, it's a pretty funny line, you know, like, oh, you're worried someone's smacking your kids like a bag of dog food at the grocery store. Then you're Divinathan. Do you worry that they are smacking your kids like a bag of dog food at the grocery store? Like, he loses track of the pacing of his own lines mid-line. Like, they're all from, like, different paced conversations. I don't know. He has such a wandering mind, clearly. And you can hear, like, when his line starts, you have no idea when it's going to end. You could just go and sound exactly the same through the whole thing with no variation. It's good stuff. We still have a lot of viewers. I'm pretty stoked on this. I'm going to play 3 more, and then I'm going to try to import that semen video for Val and everyone else who hasn't seen it yet, because it's good. I think I put it on social media, but not everyone gets to see all that. So, yeah, no, that's exactly it, Joey Jojo. Also, side note of, yes, I know about Death Do Us Blart, and yes, the sync up with Dark Side of the Moon is absolutely phenomenal. Life-changingly big. But yes, one of the aspects of his character that I feel like just kind of manifests is like, this guy has parted the veil. This guy has seen too much, and now his brain works like this. Oh, I'm going to miss you when you go. So let's get into it. This is just a classic from season 1. It's one of the most iconically straightforward parodies that there could possibly be in our show.
Hungry after a long quest? No time to cook? Pop into Mutton King, hasty food for heroes on the go. For just 2 gold and 99 copper, you can try our new Mutton Rye Monster Burger. 2 slabs of gray, gristly hot mutton smothered with beet puree and blue cheese between 2 slabs of hardtack, with salted pickled potato ribbons and a queen-sized wine.
Or our new 12-piece mutton nuggets. Chewy bread and tomed mutton chunks boiled in oil and served scalding hot with your choice of dipping sauce, almond vinegar, creamy red wine sauce, or salted honey. Tired of mutton? As if. But if you are, try the new salted cod burger on a bed of garden weeds in hearth-cooked unleavened bread. Don't be sheepish, try our new ride-through window for even faster service. Mutton fills you up like Mutton King.
Mutton King came before all sauce existed, unfortunately. Not a dipping option. I'm sure there's a partnership deal in the future for Mutton King and all sauce. Salted pickled potato ribbons and a queen-sized wine gets me every fucking time. I know I'm goofing on my own commercials, but like seriously, that's fucking hilarious to me. They sound so bad and so real and confusing. It's a good place for my brain to be, is in this comedy space. This one is just a commercial from season 1 that I thought was real fucking funny. Like, it had some good lines in it, and it's like, yeah, I guess that's a kind of commercial you could make, sure. Have a good night, Sam. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thanks for staying to almost the end and being on our hype train with us.
Tired of the same old chanting, praying, and gestures of faith? Drop those dusty old gods and get yourself a new god. Come visit the Church of Letricel, master of earthly delights. Warm up at our open bar, sample our buffet of alchemical mind candies. Step up to the rail and put your donation in the tray, as our priests and priestesses give you a sermon of the flesh. Or you can visit one of our one-on-one confessional booths to really get things off your chest. 1-year membership to the church comes with weekly access to the sauna, the juice bar, and the oiled lust pit. Letricel wants to send your mind to new heights of bliss. They are a divine sexual entity with infinite, ever-changing perfect genitalia, and your passion and pleasure give them strength. So redefine your faith, open your heart and mind to the ways of earthly pleasure with the Church of Letricel. We've got thoughts and prayers.
Infinite, perfect, ever-changing genitals. That entire commercial came from a concept that me and some friends had many years ago, over a decade or so. I don't know if you know this, but most of us who do this are in Portland. None of the people I'm talking of right now are involved in the show, but we have a lot of strip clubs in Portland. They're everywhere. And there were some friends and I who were involved, in a lot of theater stuff. And we would very regularly joke with that kind of be like, yeah, but this would actually be really cool, about making a strip club that was in a renovated church. And have that be the whole theme, is that you're like going to church and there's donation trays instead of a rail. And the confessional booths would be one-on-one. And everything just be like really religion themed, like your master of ceremonies would be like a priest. It would be really good. And that joke down the road turned into the commercial for the Church of Letricel. That and the joke that somehow popped in my head during the day of a being of perfect, infinite, ever-changing genitals. And 2 and 2 equaled 4. I'm going to play the last audio commercial before I try to get the semen one to work. And I felt like I would end with this one when I made this list. We only skipped 1. That's pretty good. But yeah, I figured this would be a good end for people based on what a lot of people request. And I know how y'all work. And it's short and to the sweet. It's short and to the sweet? Short and sweet and to the point.
Take the pants and cut them short. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Good for hunting, good for sports. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Better than a loincloth, better than slacks. Cut the legs and ham them back. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. thunder, calves of steel. Eyes of thunder, calves of steel. Eyes of thunder, calves of steel. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Get your jungle jorts today at Forever Level 21.
That fucking commercial. A commercial that came from a dumb joke in the show. It's only like 30 seconds long, so I'm actually going to play the song one more time. I want you to think about how I felt when I did it the first time and just like made this real clothing commercial in my head with this tribal chanting. But then I went back over it when I was done and was putting in animal sound effects and trying to find the animal sound effect that matched the tone of what they were saying at the time. Yes, and all thanks to the boy, Arvid the boy. I love Arvid. What a good boy. Miss that boy. But just think about where my brain was at. I guess it'd probably be funny. Plus, it's a good song. I want to hear it again. Not you.
Take your pants and cut them short. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Good for hunting, good for sports. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Better than a loincloth, better than slacks. Cut the legs and ham them back. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Eyes of thunder, calves of steel. Eyes of thunder, calves of steel. Eyes of thunder, calves of steel. Ooh, ah, ooh, jungle jorts. Get your jungle.
Wonderful. I'm going to try to find this video that Izzy Boshi made us. Did I put it under YouTube stuff? Or is it under fake commercials from season 1? Video. Is this the final draft? We'll find out. Is this going to work? I've never tried this. Hold on.
Are you in a fight with the world and losing?
what it's playing
Can't
through.
stand
Oh,
the
no,
city life
stop.
anymore? Fuck the land. It's time to get out on the sea. You ever see someone sad on a boat? Fuck.
I think I have it turned to not monitor. I didn't even know it was going to automatically create a source for me. My goodness. Yes, that was the right video. It just didn't have sound on it. I'm trying to figure out why. I feel like if I played it on my desktop, that would work better. You're going to probably hear it for a second.
Are you?
Yeah, that's the one. Can I just share that window? That would be easiest. Pardon me while I clean up my OBS source from that weird. Let's go add window capture. Give me. That ain't it. Maybe I can open it with VLC Player. It's just a bunch of video commercials. We actually have quite a few video commercials. Believe it or not. And you looked like you let me share.
Are you in a fight?
Weird. Well, that's dumb. Oh wait, you got sound? So when that original video was playing, you had sound? Huh, let me turn it to monitor then. Maybe that's all that happened. Cool. Then I can just drag it on over. It didn't show anywhere on my audio mixer that there was any sound being.
Are you in a fight with the world and losing?
Oh, it's just not on monitor.
Can't stand the
Okay.
city life
I'll pause
anymore?
this.
Fuck the land.
I'll restart it. Yeah, it doesn't let me pause it, which is very dumb. Oh well, I'm just not going to hear it. for the first playthrough, but that's fine. I've heard it many times.
Are you in a fight with the world and losing? Can't stand the city life anymore? Fuck the land. It's time to get out on the sea. You ever see someone sad on a boat? Fuck no. What's the secret to happiness at sea?
Seamen.
They live the dream. They get wet and salty and they fucking love it.
Seamen.
There isn't a boat on the sea that isn't full of seamen. They dance jigs.
They'll jig all fucking day.
You ever heard of a concertina? Do it and try not to jig.
Seamen.
Call today.
Join the big loads of seamen
Rocking hardwood vessels into the sunset. We'll come to you.
in a boat.
We'll get seamen everywhere. Seamen on the shore. Seamen on the poop deck.
Seamen in your mom's bathroom.
We'll unload a whole galleon of seamen. If we have to grade them, we'd give them a C.
Seamen.
Call today.
This ad is sponsored by the Leonin Ivory Coast Navy. Join today. Protect your kingdom. Serve the crown.
Seamen.
Yup. I could hear it by the end of it. I just had to get in there while I was playing. And to answer your question about not breaking, Val, I just laughed a lot while I was trying to record that commercial. But yeah, we actually have quite a few. I mean, not a ton, but Izzy made us a Xerna one too. That was kind of cool. And I made a Baba Java one, a Domain Farms, and Law Office of Min and Max, a couple of Gator Dungeon Automatics, the Sex Bard one. Oh yeah, and Stab and Steve's. How about Stab and Steve's? Remember this one? I actually edited this one to look like an old VHS.
Do you find yourself treading where evil makes its home? Do you often get caught off guard by goblins, gnolls, and osiers? Don't wait, come down to Stab & Steve's Sword Arm Emporium. We have swords of all sizes to help you protect your family and kingdom. We have long swords, short swords, falchions, and more. Are you a fineness fighter? Check out our selection of rapiers and scimitars. Looking for something bigger? We put the more in Claymore. Stab & Steve's is where the damage goes to your enemies and not your bank account. This weekend only, buy any 2 swords and get a third of equal or lesser damage dice for half off. Free scabbards included with every purchase. Member of the Ivory Guard? Ask about our military discounts. Stab & Steve's Sword Arm Emporium. We'll get you sorted out.
Yep, good old Stab and Steve. Really fun to just make a 1950s sounding commercial with really bad photos. And I do like the fourth wall breaking of equal or lesser damage dice. That delights me. I was just going to say, Gabe Jelly, this has been a ton of fun. I think that's a good way to end it. There's so many more, though. I could do so many of these. We've made a lot of commercials. We played 15 tonight. We talked about them, and I had a lot of fun talking about them. I hope that was fun for you, because I feel weird just talking about my own stuff. But I guess I'm weirdly natural at it when I'm given the opportunity. Because it makes sense. I like to rationalize things and kind of figure out myself by saying things out loud. So when I make myself review my own work out loud and point out what I like and don't like, I'm learning a lot about me. And I'm glad that peeking behind the commercials was fun. If we ever get big, you can be like, hey, I chatted with this I know when they made this commercial, here's a backstory, blah, blah, blah. Just kidding. That's so fucking eccentric. My goodness, I'm kind of tired. You are all very good, wonderful, perfect cuties. I love you all. And until next time, we wish you luck.